afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the mad and crazy world of Sanntangle. What have I got today? I've got regular bright white tile, and I've actually done some inking on it. Look at this. Not done this for a while, actually. So what have I used? I've used a little bit of a mixture of the Cosmic Shimmer colour clouds. Here we go. And I don't have all of these, but I do quite like that rose blush. But, you know, the ones I do have are really nice. I've got a nice mixture. But I've used the spectrum as well today. A little bit of red in there. And how have I got this? I've splashed some water on it and sprinkled a bit of salt and just let it dry naturally. And then that's what's sort of giving me that lovely sort of speckled effect. But let's get going then. Regular pen, pencil, tortillon with me today. So first of all, I'm going to come in with my pencil because I want to do still a little bit of construction. It's not going to stay there forever, so keep it light. And I'm going to sort of work on this bit here because I want to keep this at this top end. So I'm going to work here from this side. And I'm going to put myself a little line in here, not all the way up, just a bit of an idea there. And similar this side as well. Nice and light, because I can remove that afterwards, you see? And then just so I've got an idea of where I'm going, the ruler here, I'm going to mark diagonal, but again just so far up and quite lightly because I want to rub it out afterwards, and that gives me a good starting point. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a border there and I've got an angle going up there. Okay, so far so good. So first thing then, I want to put myself, again, I'm just going to put a little line here, so I've got like a little triangle there. You see, not too big. That's about a centimetre, so it's a little bit bigger, it's fine. And let's come on in with a pen. Here's my little sort of cross. So on this one here, I want to create quite a sort of a wide curve on one side. And then on the other. Now, if you find that's a little bit tricky, you can do it on one side, turn your tile round, and then draw in the next one. So from there, I want to put another one on the inside. This is why we made it quite wide. So at the side of it, I'm going to come in sort of about halfway, and I'm going to put in a bit of a curve there. And same on the other side, a bit of a curve there. So, you know, you can use that top as a guide to help you out a little bit. And then let's bring it back down and in. Okay, these little gaps in between, I'm going to come in and add in a little shape. Just turn that round. And a little shape. Okay, so there's our first little bit done. So I want to move up a little bit now. Again, if you want to, you can use your pencil. So looking at that kind of size, something sort of similar. So let's put a little bit of a guide across there. Gives me something to work to. And what I want to do here is I'm going to come from here and I want to create a bit of a curve. All right, see how it falls in. Again, if you sort of have a look there and judge where that one's going to come in. And again, a bit of a curve. So they're going to join in the middle-ish, like so. Let's fill that bit in there. Okay. And then again, I want to create that shape. And that shape there. So whilst I'm here, I want to come in and I create, let's have a look, a shape from here. So I'm coming out of here, round and down. And same sort of thing here, like round and down, okay? And then from this point where it's joined together, I'm going to do another curve and another curve. And as before, now this time, this is going to be quite fattish this side, and it's going to go back into that point. Back into that point. See, so we're creating, it's sort of symmetrical, but it's not really, because trying to create something completely symmetrical when you're hand drawing like this is a little bit tricky. Okay, so see these two little shapes I've just put in there. I'm going to put some stripes in, keep them on a slight curve and follow it through. Let's have a little look at that. See? And same sort of thing on these here as well. Little stripes. like that. Okay, I might, I think while I'm here, I'm going to fill them in. Because they're quite small, I'm using my 3. If it was any bigger, I'd probably go to my 05 and use that. But let's say they're quite small, so that's okay. Alright, so that's our first sort of little bit. I'm going to come to this side now, where we've got a space, and if you were to sort of move this line along to join that one, and this one to join that one, gives you an idea of size again. And I'm going to come on in from here, and I'm going to create a curve. I might as well come back down. And then this one, similar thing, so from here, look, I'm going to come up and create that curve, and then back down. So coming back to this one, I'm going to put, let's have a look, I'm going to put a little mark. So looking at there, about there, so if I look at that distance, you see, and then I'm going to put a mark so it's almost the same, okay? And I'll sort of cross, not halfway, but about a third of the way, because I want to go like this and like this. And the same now, look, like this and like this. So I've got a shape. And going a little bit wider, so again, if you want to, you can mark the lines to help. So I'm going to go back to this point, but I'm going to sort of come out to that line there, and then up, just a little bit higher. And turning it round, same again, down, this way, and again, this way. So we've got a little diamond shape going on there, okay. So let's extend that line out a little bit more. Sometimes it's nice to do this, just a little bit of a construction line. And what I want to do here is I want to create a curve going all the way around. And you might want to do this in pencil to start with, because it's not going to stay fully just as a curve, you see? Same this side. So I've got a little bit of something to go at. It's a bit of a longer curve there, isn't it? So having something to help you. Let's go in a bit. So now I've got my shape. I know I don't want to go into there, see, so I can amend it slightly and bring it up and round. And then from there, I'm going to come all the way around to almost touching. And then from that point to this point, I'm not going to do a straight. I'm going to curve it like that. So let's do something similar on this side. And I can go back and do this pencil bits in a minute. This way. And then down. And again, if I now come on in and draw that line in that I did with pencil, we've got something similar going on there. Okay. So, next little bit, again, I'm going to use my pencil to give me a bit of an idea. Just line it up there. And I'm going to come off the back of this one, and it's going to come around. Same thing, look, curl, and back down. And this one, along and around, and back down. So I've got that kind of a shape. And then, sort of gauging similar sort of size, I'm going to do it this way. One there, and one there. Okay, let's have a little look at where we're at. Okay, so let's come back to this one here. Given that I've got a lot of space there, what I want to do is I'm going to come back in off that line and put another one in there, you see? And then another one. You see they're getting a little bit smaller each time. Touching if you can. And then this side. So there's that one. One and two. We get a third one in. And three. I'm going to put bubbles. I get two in there, look. Need one in. So however many you can do, and then of course, you know, fill the gaps in just as far as we can. And when it comes to these here, I can put bubbles and just sort of fill them into that bottom edge, like so. Okay, so going back to this one here, I'm going to come in here with a curve, join into there. Same on this one, curve, and then let's thicken it up a little bit in the middle. Thicken it up a little bit in the middle. And then I can come in with a shape here and a shape here, just sort of filling that gap in, whatever I've got going on. And then coming into this one, you see we've got this little sort of V here. I'm going to bring out one of those shapes in there. See? And then another one here, so we're looking at this way. And round we go. So now I'm going to put that line in, just sort of on that section there. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to go up my line into there, see? And same thing here. So line it up. Okay, going to go up to there. Alright. And I'm going to put a bit of a triangle there, and I'm going to put a loop on the top. Same this side. Bit of a triangle there. Put a loop on the top. And then now I'm going to come in. I'm going to create a loop. Same this side, down, and a loop. Okay, so we're getting, you know, quite a sort of a border design going on. So I want to have a look now at this bit here. So like we did earlier with this sort of roundish shape, I'm going to come on in and I'm going to put that shape on the top there. Now I've got a line to work to. So I'll put a line down. That was a bit of salt got in the way. And let's put some V's in like this, all the way down, going a little bit more. And then another, so on this side. And then one this side as well. And then a line again. See, it's going back to that point. And let's put some V's in. And same here. V's. And down there. Okay. In the middle there, I'm going to do two little curves. And fill in those little shapes there. And then 1, 2, and 3. See how the middle one's a little bit bigger? 1, 2, 3 little loops on the end. Yeah. So I reckon we can get another one in there as well. Same sort of thing. And part of the little V's, if you can, sort of disappearing down there, and this one. You can see a bit more of that one, look. So of course we've got two more little shapes here, so let's put that shape in the middle there, and that one in the middle there, just like so. And then little V's in there, and little V's in there. Well, let's have a look at where we're at so far. Okay. So looking at these shapes in the sort of same format as we did the earlier ones, I'm going to come on in with some bubbles, getting smaller as I work my way down. A little bit of ink in there. So again, like starting a little bit larger and then getting smaller as I work my way down, fill in any gaps with ink. You're not going to get too many if they're quite close, so it's mostly that one there, see? And in there. So again, I might put extra one in there, look. And getting smaller. So work our way down. So we can get a couple more of those little shapes in on either side. And again, little V shapes, if you can get them in there. You might only get the odd one at the top, but it's going to do the job, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to come back down to this sort of section here, down here. Let's have a look. And these, of course, because we've done the bubbles in here and here, so it stands to reason that we're going to put some in there too. Just fill that bit in. And here we go, this one. And I'm going to fill that bit in. So again, any gaps, we're going to put bubbles in. And you see there as well? I'm going to continue a few bubbles and then fill it in. Okay. So looking at this shape here, I'm going to put those curved lines in. See, only slightly, starting in that middle bit, working my way down. And this way I can put that original line in. And notice I've kept that straight, straight to a point anyway. And then in each one, let's go in a bit, I'm going to put a little dot where all those lines meet. So it's got a little bit of something joining them together. All the way down. Now you can do squares if you want, or diamonds, whatever shape you prefer. We're going to go in with that. And then just sort of looking, again we've got some V's here, you see on the edge, so we've done this here. Stand to reason we're going to do it here too. So there's my first one. One either side. And then on the other side, there's my first one. And one either side. It was a bit thin, that was. It's okay, I could still get a couple of little lines in. Same on this one. In there. Work my way down. Okay, have a little look at this. Okay, so we've still got a couple of little shapes in here that we want to have a little bit of fill going on in there. So what I'm going to do here is put that shape in, you know, the aura that we're going to work on the inside there and there. It's a really great one to sort of work with. See, that's kind of thin. That's okay, I'm going to fill that one in. And that one too. Right one, you've never got the right one. It's going to have to be my 3 then. There we go. You see, I can shape that one a little bit more. And then here, a little bit in there as well. And there. Yours might be a little bit more central to mine than mine, but that's okay. And then of course here, I'm going to do my little aura, but I'm not going to fill that one in. It's quite one more little loop here, I reckon, just a little bit smaller. And similar sort of thing there. A bit smaller. Okay. So let's switch over to pencil and work our way from the bottom all the way up. So I'm going to go in again. So first things first then, I want to put in some pencil in that area there. Okay, and then just a little bit along that edge, and then along that edge. Okay, I think today I'm going to use the Tortillon as I go. So looking at this section here, I'm going to clean it up, smooth it off on that sort of bit there. Along here, so I'm not trying to fill that space in, I just want to soften it off. And then in that bit there. Okay, Just going to rub that bit out there. I don't want it going any further. And then looking at my little stripes here, I'm going to put some in there, just on that side. And then a bit on the bottom. This one, that side, and a little bit there. A little bit there, and a little bit there. Okay, so this one, I'm going to put a bit at the bottom there. Same on that one. And then a bit here and a bit here. Okay, so let's get that one in and done. So soften that off. And then these two. And just ease that up a bit. I'm not trying to fill the whole thing in. Just easing it off. So next bit comes to this section here. Add some pencil there. Add a bit there. On that side. So you see this sort of almost being the bottom sections. We're starting to create a little bit of, hopefully, depth. Let's try. So this one, into there, like so. And similar to that there. So notice, look, I've not gone into that shape at all. So what I'm going to do there is add just a little bit of a line. Same with that one. And ease that in. Okay. So if I move up, now we usually put a little smirk on these, and that's exactly what we're going to do there. A little highlight. And then, well, that's actually going to be the shadow. So this one here, I'm going to add some to the inside there, and then along that line, a little bit on there, of course those, and then I'm going to put some underneath. Same with this one, underneath. Okay, way down there. So again, let's do this bit first. This is what we're familiar with. So let's ease that up. A little bit of shadow there. Doesn't need much at all. I'm going to do all those. And then of course, as long as I'm not going to get much there. A little bit there. And then keep this, if you can, real close. We don't want to merge and soften everything completely. We just want to give it a little bit of shadow underneath there. Okay, same there, look. Just a little bit of shadow. So then moving to this little bit here, and you'll notice as well, I've actually kept my tile pretty much in the same place. So I'm not moving it at all. And keeping the pencil or the shadow sort of on that same edge. See? And then in there, look. Just a little bit on that corner. And then again, let's do the little bits of shading in there. A little bit on the inside there. On that one. And a bit there. So it's sort of all on the bottom edge kind of thing. Let's soften that out. So, see, just giving it a very gentle brush over almost. We're not trying to move it too far. Just giving it a little bit of shadow there, you know. Soften that off. It doesn't need much at all because they're quite small pieces, so it's fine. Okay. So let's put just a little bit at the top there and just a little bit underneath there. Definitely under my leaves. A bit there, see. And then of course, sort of underneath those. And again, bring that tortillon in and soften up the edges. So So this one, in terms of drawing, not too bad. It's giving you lots of different shapes. But it's about experimenting a little bit with the shadows today and doing something a little bit different. But then, of course, you know, you could shade this any way you like. You could add lots of colour. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. But it's just, sometimes it's nice to try something a little bit different. Just makes you think a little bit. Just gonna take a bit of that off. You see? So, to this bit, shadows as before, having them in there. A bit of underneath the leaves. Same here. Let's have a little bit there. And similar sort of thing on these ones. Of course, sort of beneath those leaves. So again, let's put the torch on it and clean them in. Now you can see that doing that, it needs something underneath there as well, because that's underneath after all. So let's put something in there as well. There's a difference when you add that in. Just gives it that little bit of shadow there. Sort of matches in with that bit. A little bit there. And then into this section. Forget, you know, you could do all this with the pencil and the shading. And then if you wanted to, you could come in and add pencil colours and things afterwards. It'll go over the top, no problem. So coming to this last bit, we're going to have pencil underneath that one and this one. See how it goes across that shape there. Now here, a bit different because this is coming over the top. So I'm going to add just a touch of it there, a little bit under there, maybe just a bit there. Back in with Tortillon. Again, soften out as before. I don't want to sort of spread it completely. It needs that little bit of shading. So here you just got that little hint there. And of course across the bottom. So there it is. Just add that little bit in there. So of course, as I say, if you wanted to, you could come in and you could add a bit of colour. But I'm not going to overdo that, but I am going to come back in with my pen. Okay, so you see this sort of section here where we've got this shadow. I'm going to come back in and redefine that line. So we're going to have some little bits a little bit more prominent maybe than others, you see. And the same on this inside line here. Thicken it up a little bit. And then down this line here, I'm not going to pick on everything. And on the inside there, look. You see just the top bit? Let's go in a little bit. You see, so I've just done inside there and down this one. And then here I could do down this one. So I'm not going to, say, do all, but by having that little bit of extra black pen in there, just make a difference. So I'm going to come in and do the side of that one as well. And again, you can use your 05 if you want to go even darker with this. I was just almost picking on bits that I've added some shade to. Just going to do the middle one there. And the middle one there. Okay. So, just making sure that they are all filled. I think maybe I'll do that one there. If you do all of it, you're going to lose that sort of definition. You don't want to do that. You want to keep some of it. You see, you're getting some 3 dimensions. You see that? This bit here now looks a little bit more stand up than the other bits. So you're just getting little areas. I think I could afford to go a little bit thicker with that. You see? See the difference that makes. And again, I'm going to come in with this one, and then this one. Sometimes you've got to be a little bit braver and do this kind of thing. I'm going to come in there as well. I can have some of those. And sort of similar around there. Looks like getting a bit thicker there. A little bit on that one. And then of course a little bit more on there. And there. And let's have a little look at what that's done. Okay. Maybe actually a little bit there too, you know, because it's quite close to the front. What is at the front? Okay. And then, being that I've done those bubbles there, I'm going to do that one as well. Yeah. Okay, see the difference there? Having that little bit more thickness. Look at this one here. You see? That's what we sort of want. I think a little bit more there. Look. Getting thinner as you go further up. So, going a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker at the bottom there. I'm just going to do those three. See, look at the difference that makes. Definitely going over the top. Well, I'm going to keep it at that sort of angle, and I'm going to put my initials in there. And there we go, all done and sorted, and finished for the weekend. So have a go at this one. Maybe a little bit of a challenge, but you've got to think about it just a little bit, and hopefully you're going to come out with something looking a little bit like that, a bit different maybe. Or maybe you want to do it on a macro tile and do 4 together and make it a little bit bigger and see how that looks. So okay, all done and sorted. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.